going to have a good message from God. I'm a youth pastor at my church. So most of the time about my youth are like, ah, you know, Pastor, I'm going to get married. I'm going to get married. Like some are giving out the period of time that they have to, so that they're going to have marriage. So and so these youths, what they are doing, and I know everywhere, youths are doing it. So what they are doing is, so they make lists. They make lists that, do you know what, I like a brown lady. I like a woman that is not a cheater. I want a woman that fears God. I want a spouse that always is faithful to me. Hmm? It's not selfish. Hmm? So it's not quarrelsome. And we make a lot of things. So youths they have made a lot of things that they need in their spouses or their partners. So they have made a lot of things that they feel that are good for them, that it will be good for their lives. But if they get such a partners, things will move on and things that afterwards, listening to all that my youths have been saying. So I decided to go to God and I speak to God and tell him that God, because many people are telling them, do you know what? You get married. If you get married when you are still young, it will be easy for you when you grow up. Youths, they tell us such a things in life that people tend to give us such a thoughts in our minds. So I also went to God and I told God, that God help me with this. Help me, tell me how our spouses or partners going to be. Well, when I was asking God, so what God did was this. At first, he first kept quiet. So I also said, God, no, you tell me, how are our spouses going to be? So God told me one thing, and let me pray that you listen at this. God told me one thing about our spouses that we are going to get, or our partners that we are going to get. And He told me that whatever you're doing now, that is the same thing that your partner is doing. Hallelujah. That whatever you're doing now, that is the same thing that your partner is doing. Wherever or she or he is doing the same thing. If you are so quarrelsome, also your partner is going to be like that. If you are sleeping bars, you are a cheater. You cheat on this one, you're not faithful at all. You know, when you come to people and you are humble, you are like, you know what, for me, I don't do sin. But in backwards, you do sin. So God told me that whatever that you need to be in your partner, whatever that you need that your partner will be with, that let's say your partner is faithful, is God fearing, your partner is not selfish, is not quarrelsome, is so peaceful. God is telling me that let us also behave as we want our partner. If you want your partner to behave well, also behave well. I want this one, I want this one, but you don't qualify for it. So God is telling us that let us go into things that are going to be like our qualifications. They are going to be. Let me tell you one thing: the time you're going to call for God and tell Him, God, I want a good spouse that behaves well, and also you behave well, God will not hesitate to give you a good spouse that behaves. So everywhere you go, behave as you want your partner to. May God bless you all as we behave as our partners, as we feel we want our partners to be. God will bless us so much. So everything you do as you feel you want your partner to be, because whatever you're doing is the same thing that your partner is doing right now. Whatever you're doing now is the same thing that your partner is doing there where you're not. You think about this when you're drinking alcohol, also your partner is there drinking it. If you are cheating, also you go there. know that my partner also is cheating. Whatever you do is the same thing that your partner is doing. So do everything you do when you're preparing your partner. Everything you do is preparing your partner in the ways that he or she will be. So God bless you all as we behave well, as we move in a faithful life, as we move in a God-fearing life. This is going to prepare also our spouses because they do a greater job in our lives.